Rylee Nelson. In 45% of incidents involving school shooters under the age of 18 where the gun source was identified, 74% of the shooters obtained the gun or guns from their own home, relatives, or friend's house. Everyone in this room has turned on their TV or read a headline in the newspaper about another school shooting. In the case of parental liability in a school shooting, each case should be looked at separately. First, I will explain instances where parents should be held legally liable for the actions of their child in a school shooting. And secondly, I will explain instances where they should not be held legally liable. So, let's get into situations where parents should be held liable. An example of parents being held liable was at the Michigan school shooting in Oxford from 2021. According to Kristen Welker, an American TV journalist who has been with NBC for 18 years, said in an interview on the Today Show published in December of 2021 that the accused Michigan school shooter's parents were in custody after a manhunt. They disappeared hours after they were charged with 4 counts of manslaughter. Here are some of the details about Ethan Crumley, the accused school shooter. Ethan Crumley was a 15-year-old boy who purchased the handgun with his father a week previous as an early Christmas present. He deliberately brought the gun to school with the intent to murder as many people as he could. There were many red flags leading up to the shooting that his parents missed and ultimately led them to be liable. First, a teacher saw Ethan searching for ammunition online and contacted school officials. School officials then contacted Crumley's parents and they did not respond to emails or calls from the school. On the day of the attack, Ethan drew a disturbing drawing with a picture of a handgun with the words below that said, "The thoughts won't stop, help." Crumley's parents were then called into the school and shown the disturbing picture. They resisted to take their son out of school, and later that day, he killed 4 people and wounded 7 others. These are just a few of the signs of violence that the parents supported. Spencer Bucket-Lindahl, who has a degree in journalism from Yale, in the newspaper New York Times, published in December of 2021, stated that there is no law in Michigan that indicates that you must protect your gun from children. However, if a parent decides to have an unlocked, loaded gun in their house with easy access for children to get, they should be held legally liable. There are almost always many warning signs and red flags leading up to the shooting, and if a parent misses these, they should be held liable. If we make parents more criminally responsible, this could be a preventative fix to school shootings in America today. According to Jordan Birdsley, who is a researcher in the School of Criminology and Criminal Justice at Arizona State University, from the American Academy of Pediatrics video published in 2019, stated those teenagers who bring guns to school usually have an unstable life outside of school. They did a study, and the study suggested that parent disengagement is a direct risk factor for gun carrying in adolescents. Now that I've talked about situations where parents should be held legally liable, let's get into instances where they should not be held liable. If a child has a mental illness that the parent is unaware of, they should not be held legally liable. Stephanie Saul, who has a degree in journalism from the University of Mississippi, stated in the New York Times newspaper, published in December of 2021, stated that teenagers are very good at hiding their emotion. However, if the teenager has a severe mental illness that the parents are aware of, they should not have access to a firearm. A lot of school shootings are due to poor gun control, but also a lot to do with the shooter has poor mental health. If a child receives a gun from a friend and the parents are unaware, the parents should not be held legally liable. In 84 of 105 cases, the shooter obtained the gun or gun from their own home, relatives, or friend's house. Of those 84 cases, just 4 adult owners were ever convicted of crime for failing to safely store their gun. If students didn't have easy access to guns, there would be few shootings, if any, in America today. First, I explain situations where parents should be held legally liable, and second, I explain instances where parents should not be held liable. In the case of parental liability in a school shooting, each case should be looked at separately. Although 74% of shooters obtain the gun or guns from their own home, relatives, or friend's house, we still need to be open to judgment if parents should be the ones held legally liable.